I guess later on really means later on. I haven't posted anything for probably a month and a half, but I guess I'm falling behind on a lot of things. Like, I'm supposed to be volunteering 2 hours at the Humane Society every week, and I haven't done that, and I feel really guilty about it. So I'm probably going to go there today. I don't know if I'm supposed to work or not because my Dustin's mom is kind of not talking to me right now. Which, whatever. But yeah. So the complications. I had 4 seizures in one night. I had fevers. I had rashes, allergic reactions to some antibiotics. I was back in emergency like every 2 days after they released me, and I was an outpatient. I remember when I had a seizure, I was in Sandy's room and she was setting up a PVR for me so I could watch TV while I was laying down and resting. And all of a sudden, I was just like, my head turned to one side and I was like, Sandy, Sandy, I can't move. And then I guess I started seizing, and that was my first seizure. Then she called an ambulance, and I had one when they were putting me on a stretcher, and then one when I was going into the ambulance, and then I had another when I was in emergency, when I was about to get a lumbar puncture, which is a spinal tap. And the worst thing that it could have been was cancer had spread into my spinal fluid and my brain, and they were really scared for that. I was really scared for that. I didn't wake up for 2 days because they gave me so many drowsy, Ativan and drowsy drugs to keep my seizures on the down low. And the best thing it could have been was just a blood clot, which it did end up being, but it sort of messed with everything. I had to take injections of Lovenox. It's a blood thinner because they wanted to thin out the blood clot. So I wasn't allowed to take Advil or anything, not that I was anyways before that. And I had to take Keppra, which is a seizure drug. And when people see that on your medical records, they sort of, oh, do you have epilepsy? And I'm like, no, I had 4 seizures in one night. I never came back. And it's been a year now, and they finally started weaning me off the drug a few months ago. And they said I couldn't drive, but I guess I've been driving. Don't tell anyone. So to move the story on, yeah, it was just a rough month. I was in the hospital, in and out, and pretty much all the emergency doctors knew who I was, and there was a lot of complications in the beginning, but I finally, the doctors finally gave me good news. They told me, like I already said, they told me that Angie was a stem cell match to me, and my transplant date was set for June 17th of 2010. So we had to do a pre-visit to Calgary, so we went down there, and they told us where I'd be living, because I had to stay there for 100 days afterwards, 3 months. And they had to monitor me at the BMT clinic, and all the doctors there are super nice, my doctor, Dr. Shafee. I haven't seen her since. I tried to visit her, but it was a Saturday and no one's there on Saturdays. But yeah, so when I came, before my trip to Calgary, my final trip to Calgary, and I was going to be there for 3 months, wasn't allowed to leave or anything, I actually did a speech, and it was for my school, the Carnival for the Cure, and this was after grad, and I don't know. I look at pictures from graduation, my dress and stuff, and I gained a lot of weight. It's not even funny. And I lost a lot too, but I guess the doctors told me that it was just because of the prednisone, which is a steroid, and I was on the weed pill, which of course that'll make you eat. It makes anyone eat, and that was for anti-nausea. And yeah, so I gained a lot of weight, and I guess it didn't affect anyone. I know there were a few bad comments because people, not everyone knew that I was going through chemo. So there was this one girl not gonna mention names, but my really good friend told me that like they were sitting next to each other at the commencement ceremony, and when they called my name on stage, this girl was just like, "Ew, why is she bald?" Just like really superficial. And then my friend told me, and I sort of brought it up with her, but she denied it all. But I'm glad my friend stood up for me. She was just like, "Well, she has cancer, you idiot," which most people would get from that. Like I didn't have this. It was all gone. Like nothing there. And I'm pretty sure no one would just shave their head. Like, I do understand people do it for cancer, but not right before big things like graduation. So it wasn't my choice, and I hope people see that now and hold their tongues before they say stupid things like that. Anyways, what I was trying to get to was, yeah, I did a speech, and it was for Carnival for the Cure. I don't know if it was June 4th or June 3rd, but it was 4 days before I was leaving for Calgary, and I wasn't going to see any of my friends anymore. Yeah, and I just remember a lot of people were really moved by what I said just because they knew me. They saw me around school. Either they're friends with me or they had classes with me. And a lot of people like came up to me afterwards and they're all like crying. I don't know why this part is hard to talk about. It just brings back that, like, I guess, good memories. Because I tried to say some nice things, good things about my experience, which was like, I do see that everyone is beautiful in their own way now. Like, everyone judges people, but it's like, when you have nothing, you see everything. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say now. So, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.